My name is Brent Romick. I live in Yampa, Colorado. I grew up in Steamboat, but some of the liberals pushed me south about 30 miles. And now I live just north of Yampa, Colorado. I've been in the ranch, real estate, and rodeo business my entire life. I did not get involved in politics in my early years because I was in the real estate development business. Then I graduated to doing conservation easements and undeveloping Colorado because that was good for the great things that we like about Northwest Colorado. And it was a good complement. So I tried to make a balance out of my lifestyle, and that balance being trying to conserve as much as I developed, both being important. Affordable housing was always important, and I had the privilege in Routt County to be the only person, including transfer of density rights, to do all the land use plans and helped implement the land preservation subdivision process, which is essentially preserving ranches and still giving you a place to live. It gives me a great deal of pleasure today. And in this journey, it's been a long one recently for me because I had a few select members of the Republican Party reach out to me and ask me to run for this Senate District 8. I almost did because Jack Taylor was very near and dear to me. He worked for Romick and Associates, Senator Fay DeBerard, and the representatives like Wad Hinman and the stuff, people I grew up with, because I grew up partly in Kremlin, Colorado as well, in Grand County, instilled in me that it's important that you step up and make a difference. When Jared Polis and his administration did an all-out attack on the animal-based agriculture and brought regulation and policy to the oil and gas industry that takes a tool out of my toolbox in the ranching business. I do have 3 oil wells in the ranch I manage. They are all 3 million barrel producers, and we went through the Niobrara process here recently, and quite frankly, it was very beneficial. If you're in the ranching business, you need every arrow in your quiver that you can get. And when you do not get a chance to even get a lease, let alone put a bit in the ground and see if you can keep up, there's a major problem here. There's a major problem with education now. And in that process of running, I started looking at it very, very hard. Unfortunately, I'm an individual that's got too many jobs. I'm quite frankly overemployed. But I found an individual, and his name is Matt Solomon. He lives in Eagle County. He's a private citizen that's done a lot. He's opened his own business. He believes in the Second Amendment. He's a constitutionalist. He was raised with Catholic background. The more I talked to Matt, the more I knew how in tune he was with Northwest Colorado. I'm a cowboy and use the water for irrigation purposes, and Matt uses the water for recreation and other purposes. But in the discussions that I've had with Matt, Matt is an exceptional candidate. Some of the old candidates that I saw in Kremlin and Northwest Colorado mimic Matt. He's not a know-it-all, but he wants to learn. He's going to put a group of us that know our little specialty to work for us. And I think Matt Solomon is the right candidate at the right time. And the reason he's the right candidate at the right time, he has no strings attached except to commit his integrity, his constitutionalist, and move forward the agenda of the Republican Party. So it gives me a great deal of satisfaction to nominate Matt. It takes a lot of pressure off me, but he is the right man to do the job.